Hi crypto fans, welcome to CCS Cryptocurrency State. My name is Santiago, I'm a web developer and investor. And in today's video we have a special video. We are going to cover Linea and base airdrops, some tips for a big airdrop and how to update your airdrop for Linea and base. This video is covered by Boris. If you don't know who he is, you can check the video that is appearing right now where we talk about airdrops. He's a moderator on my private Discord where you can subscribe for special information about airdrops and crypto in general. He's a dear friend of my channel, my community, with many other private members on my Discord. And he has already covered some updates on BRC20 airdrops before. So if you have been here from a while, you know Boris. If not, this will be an amazing update on Linea and base airdrops. Before we begin, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to get the notifications, and without anything else, let's go into Boris.
Hi guys, it's great to be back. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Boris. I'm a moderator in Santiago's Discord, and for the last 2 years that I've been in crypto, only the last year has actually been successful because around October I've actually discovered that airdrops can be incredibly profitable if you know what you're doing. And the best way to actually know what you're doing is to have access to quality information. The best place I've seen quality information in the airdrop space has been our Discord, because there's so many smart heads pulling our knowledge together, helping each other out daily, and just so much good airdrop alpha is being shared all the time, some of which I'll actually be talking about near the end of the video when we'll be talking about more advanced stuff. So I've spent way over 1,000 hours on chain, and I've devised a couple of strategies that work really well. Some I figured out what doesn't really work well, and some of these strategies that actually work we'll be sharing today. Everyone and their goldfish is talking about Zksync and layer 0, so hope you're doing those. But apart from that, we've also got 2 new projects coming up on chain, which is Base. Coinbase's layer 2 solution. They actually launched about a week ago, and we've still got a couple more weeks of the launch campaign to catch the early days of the blockchain. And we'll also be talking about Linea, which is the consensus layer 2 solution for scaling Ethereum. They are consensus, which means that they are MetaMask parent company, and as we know, they have so much funding, I believe somewhere around 2.3 billion. So if they decide to airdrop, you can bet it's going to be juicy. Keep in mind, none of the airdrops are guaranteed, and none of this is financial advice, but as I have some experience here and some successes under my belt, I feel comfortable sharing these strategies with people who actually want to make money here. So that out of the way, we've got Base. So what you want to do is you want to go to their official Twitter, which is built on Base. You want to go to their bridge, go from Ethereum to Base. So it's going to cost you a couple dollars for transaction fee and the amount of volume that you want to actually transport over to Base. It'll be there in like 10 minutes or less. Once you've got your funds over there, you can explore the ecosystem. What I love to do is I just go into DeFi sector, and you can find some popular names here such as Balancer. You maybe have heard about Maverick. They also airdropped couple months ago. This was a painful moment because I actually used the protocol, but not enough liquidity. So remember that if you're using a protocol, use good amounts of money, not just like cents or a couple dollars. You really want to be catching these airdrops as they happen. Aptos is also a great one because you can actually use it to batch buy and batch sell tokens. And you know me, I'm all about saving money on those pesky gas fees. So batching these purchases together is amazing. So yeah, once you get a couple of transactions here on this ecosystem, you can also mint this on-chain summer NFT from their launch campaign. It's really cheap, like maybe $1, $1.30, and it's part of history, so who knows, could be a multiplier in the future. That's pretty much it for Base. There's a lot more stuff to do to explore, but I want to keep this video short and sweet. Let's move over to Linea. So same deal, go to their official Twitter page, so Linea build. You got their bridge, also from Ethereum to Linea mainnet. It's really cheap, also like $1 or $2 when gray gas is low. Once you've got your funds over there, you've got Linea build apps. I like to also go in DeFi sector, and you've got many DEXs here. It's just super easy to get transactions in on a DEX because you can swap into a token, you can provide liquidity. It's one of the more simpler things to do. After you've done a couple of these, you can have fun with the rest of the ecosystem, but just make sure to get your transactions in at least monthly, because as we know for Optimism and Arbitrum, the criteria has been monthly activity. Once you've got, oh yeah, SyncSwap is great also because SyncSwap is actually live on both Zksync and Linea, so I really like this one with some pretty decent yields as well if you want to be a little DeFi degen and provide liquidity on some exotic pairs, which is of course always a bit more riskier than the stable pairs. And now we can go into a little more detail about these chains themselves and what to specifically do on each. The tool I absolutely enjoy is DeFi Llama because on it you can filter by chains. You can find many different chains that you might even know existed. So we're already positioned on Base. By default, it is ranking the protocols based on total value locked, but you can also filter by volume, fees, revenue, and many others. So as we can see, finally Stargate flipped Base Swap. Base Swap had 50 million TVL day one. There was definitely something curious going on there, and many others. We will be focusing on Stargate, which is the premier omnichain interoperability protocol, and also Uniswap, because everybody knows Uniswap, and they recently launched on Base, which is amazing. You have many others here as well, but I would definitely stick to the more familiar names in the space, such as perhaps, what do we have here? ADA, we have Sushi, we have, what is this, Balancer. So yeah, like there's probably a high likelihood of at least 50% of these newly grown DEXs being scams, like such as LeadSwap Rugged. What else Rugged? There's so many of these. The IceSwap, great going guys there. Jesus. But yeah, beautiful thing. PancakeSwap is gonna get Base soon as well, which is amazing. Right. So we go on to Stargate. This is definitely something that you should do at least once a month because Layer 0 is one of the more hyped and anticipated airdrops to come. So we can go from Arbitrum to both Base and Linea. Let's go to Base primarily. They've added this recently, so that's amazing. We'll just send a couple dollars maybe just for testing. And basically it takes 2 or 3 minutes maximum, and it costs less than $1.50. So this is one of the best ways to get your funds over there after you've bridged via official bridge. Of course, whenever you send stuff to new chains, definitely one transaction via official bridge is highly recommended. Now let's try to speed this up a bit. We approve the transaction, sending ETH, and later we'll go into a little more detail how we can make this faster and more efficient. So while we're waiting for funds to arrive, we can see what else we can do on Stargate. So once we have funds on Base, we can go into a pool over here. We are free to get some assets in the staking. That might be criteria. Anyway, it increases your Layer 0 transaction count, which is very good. So yeah, once you get funds in the pool, you can farm them and definitely get a couple of those Stargate tokens in this staking over here, because that way you also qualify for voting, and we all know that voting was also one of the ways that people have received multipliers in airdrops before. So yeah, once we have our funds over there to Base, we swap over on the MetaMask, the old MetaMask, to Base chain. Base, oh, there it is. Right, and yeah, basically provide liquidity in the pools, stake the provided tokens, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, we don't need to go into detail on this one. That's Stargate, and Uniswap is even simpler. We've all used Uniswap before, but what you might not know is that they have also added Base chain recently. So we've got many of these over here in top right, but Base is the one we're going to focus on. Same thing, swap tokens from Ethereum to whatever you want. And then I would recommend you also go over here in the pools section and provide liquidity in one of these. We've done this a million times, so we don't need to demonstrate this, but yeah, this is something that you can do with the amounts that you are comfortable with. We all know that exploits happen. Sometimes even the most trustworthy protocols can get in a sticky situation. We all know that both Hayden.eth, the founder of Uniswap, his Twitter account was compromised recently, unfortunately, and we all know that Curve also had an exploit recently. So yeah, always be careful how much you deposit in these, even quite reputable and one of the oldest protocols out there. So that covers Base. Now we'll go straight into Linea. So for Linea, we can transfer funds over via official bridge and Stargate as well. Same deal, we go to pool, we go to farming, and if you want, you can even stake a couple Stargate tokens over there. And again, we go to DeFi Llama. As you can see, the TVL on Linea is still very little, only 18 million. Again, a couple of these very cool dApps here. Velcor has been pretty good, but my favorite has definitely been SyncSwap because you can use it on Zksync as well. So yeah, SyncSwap and Pancake is what we'll be covering. PancakeSwap is amazing because they've added many airdrop friendly chains. As you can see, Polygon ZKVM is here, Zksync, and as of late, Linea mainnet as well. So what we can do is, well, we've all used PancakeSwap before, we know the drill. Trade, you can swap over here tokens into whatever token you want. If you want to keep it safe, you can LP, so provide liquidity with stable pairs such as USDT, USDC. If you want to risk it a little more, you can LP ETH plus a stable coin. Those are like one of the safer bets. So that's PancakeSwap. They're also going to launch farms soon on the Linea mainnet. Currently, we can only provide liquidity, so it's decent APRs, but again, keep in mind that fees on Linea are a little more than your usual layer 2. So on a good day, it's between 50 cents to $1 for just a swap. And LPing can be between $1 to $3. So definitely don't bridge just a couple dollars over there. $10 to $50 is like recommended amounts for Linea. So yeah, and we also have SyncSwap is literally the same deal. Like they're also awesome because they got both Linea and Zksync era here. So if you want to really blitz through all these potential airdrop chains using dApps that are live on both the chains that you're farming is just super time efficient. So yeah, they have some pretty good pools over here after you swap on the main page. Again, I would highly recommend providing liquidity just with stable pairs because you get super wrecked sometimes with the impermanent loss, even though sometimes these APRs can look pretty good. Oh wait, never mind, they are not even that good anymore. Yeah, so anyway, SyncSwap is one of those that you can use. For lastly, when farming airdrops, you want to be as efficient as possible. So looking for opportunities where you can get a 2-in-1 or even 3-in-1 and so forth is really beneficial. One such opportunity is getting the Summer Zorb from Zora, which is available on onchainsummer.xyz/Zora, because that way you can also not just qualify for potential base airdrop, but also get transactions in for Zora layer 2 itself. So you can mint the NFT on base chain, and that way you can potentially qualify for 2-in-1 airdrops. Again, when you're bridging from different chains to different chains, make sure to mix it up as much as possible. Don't just bridge from Arbitrum to all other chains, because not only do you want to have high volume and a lot of transactions, but you also want to have different contracts. So bridging from Optimism, from Phantom, from Binance Smart Chain, and so forth is definitely something you should consider to increase your multipliers for potential layer 0 airdrop if and when it eventually drops. So if you have any questions or you have any ideas, suggestions, drop them in the comments below. And again, the best place for airdrop hunters who are serious about this and want to make a killing in it, like 6 figures plus, which is definitely possible if you're committed, I would highly recommend you give our Discord a try, even just for a month, see why it's really worth your time and attention. But yeah, it is the place to be if you want to make money in the airdrop space. Have a great day, happy airdrop hunting, and till next time.